I'm not running though, am I? Of course. It's still not showing up. And I don't know why. It looks like Fred has a part 5. Don't even say part 5. Oh my... Why is this not working? There's got to be something that I need to do to make it all work. Alright. It looks like... Alright, I can hear myself now. And the encoder's working. YouTube is not receiving enough video to manage smooth streaming as such. Oh... Okay. Oh, great. All right. Well, look, tell me, you guys who are in the chat, you let me know if you're finding it difficult to pick anything up. Because normally I get a green bar. This is very, very... You can hear me. It's going to be more a product of whether you get a slowdown. I was just watching a 45 live stream. Okay. See a picture. Let's flick over and see if it can cope with things. Because right now, all I'm doing is showing you a static image. Whereas as soon as I start painting, that'll be different. Okay, all right. Let us see if I can pull this off. Because I just want to get it done now. All right. Hi, welcome to HowtoDandD. My name is Fred Wheeler, and today I am going to try to finish the Xanathar Beholder miniature from Gale Force 9. No, I am the one who's blind, not the Beholder, and apparently my video stream is a little bit tricky today. So we are going to just play it out, see how it works. If everything sort of cleans up later, awesome. Otherwise, it is time to paint, and I am on a mission. I am not going to stop until it has been done. That is my quest. Ha! That's right. Okay, so in a second, hopefully, yes, we can see a miniature. Once I start moving it around, we'll know if I got it right. How's it going, Matt? Hi, Scott. How's it going, Joe? Hi, Brandon. Okay, so brushes and work. Let's get this going. I want a small brush, and I thought well, basically I'm dealing with eyes today. So I'm going to get this ghostly blue. I'm going to give it a good old swidgy around and see if I can't sort of tidy up around where the eye is, because it doesn't look quite right. It looks a little bit too blue. You see the Beholder. So now the question is going to be whether the live stream holds up under pressure. Under pressure. Just going to use my very, very small brush and see if I can't just line it along there. And a little bit less paint maybe. And then just along the top around that little ridge there. Let's do that again. A little bit more, make it happen. So I've applied for pretty much every job that I can without applying for jobs that I probably won't get. And now I'm in a situation where I'm contemplating doing something I did a long time ago, which is doing a lot of streams. Not going to be much good if they're not very healthy, though. Yes, that's right. The eyes have it. And as they should, because it's a Beholder, right? Okay. That seems to be working out. Let's just keep going. It's getting the right angle. Just to get the right angle and then get the paint on, right? There we go. And how are we going to do this? That's not the right angle, Fred. That is definitely not the right angle. Let's try again. Okay, that's not too bad. Haha! Yes. All right, so next. There's actually a couple of little spots there I could probably just cover. there. Just down the side. And down that side. A little bit more on the other side, and that should be good. Should be good. What's that, Joe? Thank you, Matt, by the way. Does anyone know if Baldur's Gate video game going to be just on PC? I'm not too sure. I am not too sure. I should know, right? Because there's been so much promotion around it. Hey, I know a few of you have used the Reaper Bones Kickstarters. What has been your experience of the Reaper Bones Kickstarters? Because I've always felt that it is quite a big outlay of money, and you do have to wait quite a long time before you get what you're after. As far as I know, I think it's exclusive PC. Oh dear. Oh, that's blowing it, Joe. Okay. Let us see if I can't get my white. Where's my white gone? Let's give it a good shake. So for those of you who thought there was going to be a number 5, there is not going to be a number 5. I can tell you that now. There's no chance I want a number 5. It is going to happen. And today is the day. It has taken long enough. And it's going to need to be watered down, so we'll just do that a bit more, and maybe a bit more. Okay, so I don't know, has anybody noticed that there's a Dungeons and Dragons live action car commercial? I think one of you guys might have mentioned it, but I was watching it and I was like, it looks like a movie. But it's actually just a car commercial. It's quite cool. And apparently it's because it was like incredibly popular in whatever country it came from. Oh, yep, you didn't know about it, Matt. It must be just drifting around the internet. It's not exactly new news, is it? It's been floating around for at least, would be about a month now, wouldn't it? No, that eye is fine. We'll leave that eye alone. We'll give that a bit more white. And doop. Oh, so provided the internet is functioning properly tomorrow, I'm going to do another combat tutorial. I haven't done any combat tutorials for a little while, and I thought, well, might as well get my hand back into it. And I know that some people like them, and I know other people just use them as a good old example to point out how poor my understanding of the game rules are. But I know a lot of people do find them useful. And I should really also get around to doing some of these reviews that I keep going on about, right? Because I've got a bunch of books and cards and maps and so forth to actually show you, and I haven't done that. So, yeah, I'm going to be busy. Very, very, very busy. Okay. Right, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, you enjoy my teaching videos, Matt? Well, that's good. I have 5 patrons now, which is awesome, which is great, and it's been interesting. I think one of them had just mentioned, look, I don't actually require anything extra from you. You do so much already, and I was like, oh, that's good, awesome, and but yes, so I have stuck a bit of stuff up there. And it's nice that people sort of are happy that what I do is, as far as they're concerned, actually enough. It's nice to hear that. Considering doing more is kind kind of quite traumatic to even think about at times. And I'm still working on, I still haven't been able to get that mat from my brother so I can dampen down the sound that bounces off the desk. I went and had a little visit with him, and as it happens, he was not there. He must have been busy out doing other things. What's that? Okay, Joe. Yep. As far as Reaper Bones 4 goes, I only have one set, the fan favorite set. I'm waiting the ship manufacturer and the rock miniature and the Baba Yaga house. Yeah, see, this is the thing with the Reaper Bones. I feel like if you are in Canada or North America, you're probably doing all right. But with something like the exchange rates and things like waiting, because it's not like you're buying the miniatures and they're done. Usually you have to wait quite a long time, particularly if you're a backer for the Kickstarter. And that's the deal, right? The best pricing tends to come from being a backer rather than just going and buying the miniatures once they've been put into manufacture, even if they are available as manufacture. Which I noticed that there are some sort of limited options. Some things a company doesn't make a huge runoff deliberately so that it's special. So yes, I thought what I would do, because I noticed there's a lot of confusion around surprise and being unseen. A lot of people still seem to think that if you surprise your enemy, you get advantage on your attack, your first attack. But it's not because you're surprising them. It is actually because you are unseen that might be taking place. And I think that's certainly a game rule I will review at some point very shortly, because it keeps coming up. Every once in a while somebody says, but why do you get advantage? Don't you get advantage if you have surprise? Surprise just means you're going to get to act in the first round, really. That's all it does mean. If there's somebody being surprised, that is. And we might do a few more of those spell videos too. Okay, that's looking good. I like that. Very nice. Very nice. What's that, Scott? I wonder if people are going to paint their ships or not. Is there okay. I imagine that there'll be people who will paint the ships. I don't imagine that you sign on for the Reaper Bones Kickstarters with the intention of not painting those unpainted miniatures. I mean, I suppose you could, but it does seem like a huge waste. And I know what you guys are thinking. Why are you painting the teeth white, Fred? Well, there's just a few areas that I thought needed a little bit more white, and I would at least put some more paint on those areas. Because white teeth don't look so great. Needs to be slightly different. Yeah, I totally agree. What's that, Matt? I see a town set by WizKids today. Came with an LED furnace and smelter. Yeah, that's on Blanco's channel. I think that's what you were talking about. Yeah, I saw that video too. Blanco is very good at keeping up to date with what's going on. Although he's not really in a position to buy high-end, expensive anything, really. So the fact that he was able to get it at a discounted rate is probably the only reason that that video went up. Here we go. I'm dealing with the teeth. Why am I dealing with the teeth, Fred? Should be dealing with the eyes. Dealing with teeth is just not the smart thing. Right, okay. Let's give that another little wash out. Very cold. What's that, Joe? I'd like a clear video explaining how I should treat my son's familiar. He has an imp, he's a warlock, and any house rules you use. Imps are a problem, as you probably already figured out. Imp is like, is there anything I can't possibly find out, explore, or know? And I've seen an imp used to just literally get the party through every room, find out every little bit of information. So I'm not a fan of the imp in the game. I feel like it is, in terms of a utility aspect, it is just way too powerful. So I totally understand your desire to see a video on that, Joe. I totally understand it. How would I make a video on that topic? I don't know that anybody would like what I have to say about imps. But the problem is, once they've got an imp, it's very, very hard to sort of say you can't have an imp, because in the game, in the basic rules, sort of allow for that ability. What I can say, and it doesn't help you with a kit, is that when it comes to imps, I tend to encourage people to crush them, have something roll on them. No, they don't necessarily know the imp's there, but things happen around it that result in its death, which sounds terrible, I know. But I feel like the imp is just way too much. Let us see if we can get that eye coated a little bit more. It's not too bad. Okay, right, let's move on. And eyes. Let's start dealing with eyes. Actually, I probably should also deal with the, where was it? Zombie flesh. Let's go with the zombie flesh. I'm going to do the gums again. I know. I just don't feel like I've got the gums right. I don't know why. What's that, Joe? I think you mean ship boat miniature. The ship boat miniature. He does probably mean that. Okay, so let's see if this. I'm using zombie flesh. This is the D&D Nolzur's Marvelous Miniatures paint. And let's see if it's... Oh, okay, I don't have to water that down. Let's see if this will work. Where I'm going to put it? On the gums. Alright, it's not too bad. Oh, this is tricky to get in there, though. Not so easy. What's that? I'm lucky in the UK has a distribution centre for Reaper Bones. Yeah, I would imagine if you're in the UK or the States or Canada, you're probably going to be doing all right. Anton. Yeah, but if you were anywhere else in the world, I could just see it being a problem. I know New Zealand is usually reasonably lucky with these things, comparatively to other countries of a similar size. And the only things I've ever seen that the Reaper line produces that is actually of a reasonable price, considering they're unpainted, is the packs of, goblins, orcs, skeletons, and zombies. They seem to be produced, they produce those in packs of 6. So you're almost paying about $1 or slightly more than $1 per miniature American, which of course when it translates into New Zealand money, it's more like, for me, it would be, if it's about $1.50 per miniature American, it's going to be about $2.50 per miniature, and then double that again for the shipping. So it's not very cheap. Doesn't really work out quite the way you had hoped. And you can go with, oh, you buy in bulk. Well, it still doesn't help enough, unfortunately. Okay. Well, I like this colour more than the other colour I was using. That just didn't appeal to me at all, but this is working a lot better. And it's just a matter of getting the colour in the right place. Oh, put it down. Yep, a little bit more. Dry that off, try again. And this is a bit I should have not made it runny. If I've made it runny and it's actually too watery. I've made that mistake before with these paints, thinking that I needed to water them down, and only to find that they're actually pretty watery already. What's that? I have a townspeople. Yeah, the townspeople set with the furnace. Yeah, Blanco did that review. I saw that not so long ago. Yeah, it looks nice. It just when he mentioned the price, I was thinking, oh, it'll be painful. Good idea though. Okay. How do we deal with this? Okay, I think that looks a lot better than it did. So I'm going to stop fiddling with it, and I'm going to have a drink of water, set my focus on the eyes, because that's what we're here for, getting the eyes done. So let's use the owlbear. I'm going to use the owlbear brown. I think I actually used flat earth. Actually, we'll use the flat earth because that seemed to go on pretty well and pretty solid. And that's the Vallejo flat earth, by the way. I pre-ordered lots of stuff to get a discount rate because if I spend $75 at certain hobby stores, it is free shipping. Well, makes perfect sense to me. Absolutely. Okay, so let's do this brown, and then I'll come back and I can use other browns to sort of make it more interesting. And let's just check the main eye. Looks all right. So now I need to just figure out how to paint the eyes for Mr. Xanathar. How's this going to work? Pick an eye and make it brown. Let's go with this one here. Oh, pardon me. There we go. Get the round eyeball going. And a little bit more. Is that going to be big enough? Yep, it's big enough. I can come back to it if I want to. Alright, so next one. Ha! You thought I was never going to do it. Fred, your Twitch channel has 30 minutes content. I would like to see how you DM and long form. The only problem is I'm not DMing in my group right now, so it's a little bit difficult. And all I do with the Twitch channel is because we swear and say so many things we shouldn't on YouTube, I put it on Twitch because they don't seem to care. And it's only the combat because I'm doing it from a phone. I got no gear to be able to do that. So I know people still want to see me DMing, but the reality is at this present time it's probably not going to happen for a little while. I think John Paul is pretty sure that he's got a couple more months before it's likely to be my turn. So it might be a little bit longer. Unless, of course, I wind up doing this sort of thing full time, and then I suppose it's more likely to happen. Okay, what do we got here? Matt, Fred, did you see the Beastmaster article by James H? I replied to you. I think it was D&D Beyond. Can't remember now. Where you can see and ask about it. Oh, I don't know. I haven't seen it. The Beastmaster needs some love, doesn't it? Really, it's been shited all over, big time. Okay, so this is going to be brown. And how I'm going to do this? I need a good angle. Set my angle and then attack. Core blimey. Circles with a brush. Sounds easy, but it ain't. So far I haven't been too bad in terms of painting the eyeballs, but I figure it's only a matter of time. I'm not dealing with the difficult bit, which is the pupil will be really hard. Okay, let's see if we can't. Do I need to widen that out a bit more? Okay, so leave it alone. That's enough. Don't fluff with it too much. Yeah, have to do something about that Beastmaster. I'll see if I can find some time. I'll check it out. At Joe, I need to put money aside. There are some animal sets that I want. Kickstarter dogs and cats. Oh, the adventuring party. Yes, Matt, they did look very, very cool. All right, so that's brown. I'm going to leave the brown alone for a second, and we're going to go to, where is it? That's right, I wanted to use this brown here. And I think the reason was I was going to go for the big eye. So this is, for those of you who want to know, this is the owlbear brown. It's a much darker brown than the one I was using. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for the central eye. And I'm going to apply a little bit of this in various locations. Alright, cool, that's it. So I've applied it sort of like on one side of the eye. I don't know if that's going to make a huge difference, but I'm hoping it'll sort of look like it's slightly different. What's this? Humblewood. The Humblewood set. A must-have. Alright. The only Kickstarter I have ever done is for Dwarven Forge, and I'm expecting it to come in summer. Very excited. Those things, they are the things I always struggle with, the Kickstarters, because you have to wait so long. How's it going, big kid? I have so many minis to paint. I finally finished Lost Mine of Findelver, and it ended spectacularly. So now the group wants to continue, but I need to get painting. Well, that's you know what you do is you invite them all over, and then say, "Yep, we'll continue. I will be your dungeon master, but you have to paint some of my miniatures. We're having a painting day." Yeah, that's right. We're having a painting day. There. Okay. Shake that up. No, I won't do the teeth just yet. I'll go to another eye. Now, what was I doing? I did brown. And now we're going to do blue. That's right. So this is going to be frost blue. So give that a good shake. I get distracted easily, don't I? Yeah, that's right, Fred. You definitely do get distracted easily. Okay. So, blue eyes. Let's start with... What's that like? That's all right. We'll start with this one over here. If you decide you do want to continue on from the Lost Mine of Phandelver, I do have a video on what's the next adventure after the Lost Mine of Phandelver if you feel like checking it out sometime. Might help you sort of get your head around that. Unless, of course, you make your own stuff and you've got that under control. Okay, that blue's looking all right. We'll just give that a good clean. And I just noticed there's a little bit of a, where is this, goblin skin. Part of the eyelids are just not quite right, so we'll do just a little bit of that, just to tidy up around them. Shouldn't take too long. You love that idea. Humblewood. Right, let's have a look. Let's see if we can't tidy up. Which eye was it? That's not it. That's not it. That was the blue eye, I'm sure. Oh, there it is. Good. That's better. It's much, much better. Okay, let's check the other ones before I put the brush down. And that's fine. That's good enough. 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 Right, okay, clean the brush out. And back to the blue. Baby blue eyes. I want my baby blue eyes. Oh, as I was cleaning up my office today, I found my 3 winter wolves. How's it going, Aaron? I've been looking for those winter wolves for so long. I was like so angry. There was like a video thumbnail I needed to do, and I needed that winter wolf. Could not find it anywhere. For the life of me, looked everywhere. Nothing. Nothing. Finally found it. So happy. So happy. And I had 6 of them. Not quite so happy that I have 6 of them, but I only needed 2. And I was like, I'm sure I have them. I'm sure I've got like a whole bunch of them, but I couldn't find them anywhere. So that's the problem. If you don't clean up, put things away, you can't find anything. Okay. It's going to be a very quiet stream, I can see right now, as I try to concentrate trying to paint eyeballs. That is good enough. Right, next one. How are you doing, Aaron? You working, or you doing other things like you're doing your books? I know you're working on a book usually. All right, so this is going to be blue over here as well. Oh yeah, oh yeah, that's a tricky one. And we'll try to get around here. Sorry if I'm moving over the side too much. It's just, I guess, force of habit. I keep pulling the miniature to me rather than letting you guys at least see what's going on. That'll look right. Yep, that's fine. Let's keep doing it. Walrus, how's it going? Hey Fred, what time is it over there? It is currently 2:13 p.m. in the afternoon. It's overcast, it's cold, and if I sit still for too long in one place, things start to go rock solid. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm green eyes next. So let's grab some green. I'm going to use this Feywild Emerald. Oh, what was that? Nothing. Just checking. Okay, that's good. So far, things are going all right, which I'm so happy to hear. For those of you who are wondering how long this stream will be, it is going to be as long as it takes to finish the thing. That green sucks. That green really does suck. I'm sorry to say. I'm not really happy. Yep, that's right. When in doubt, go to Vallejo. That is just so watery and so thin, and it's just not going to cover. Yeah, look at that. That's just nonsense. No, Vallejo deep green, that's what I'm going to use. Give it a hard shake. Big kid. So far when I paint, I just base coat and add wash. Not too complicated doing highlights or dry brushing. Fair enough. Okay, so that is really thick. Let's just see if this works though. Oh, no, that's all right. Okay. If I apply it here. Let's do that again. I think it has worked better. I see a vast improvement. And we'll just flip that round. All this really steady, small hand control stuff is going to drive me nuts. Yeah, got it. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. You're not going to defeat me. But now I have, yes, my winter wolves, and I have my giant ape back, which is excellent news. It's actually really hard to get a giant ape. I think in the end I wound up going to a Chinese emporium and just buying a cheap rubbery thing. Because, of course, when people get polymorph, what do they transform into? Giant ape. T-Rex. I feel like the giant ape, though, is extremely popular. I think I've tried both, and the ape caused the most trouble. And as it happens, I don't think about it, the giant apes caused the most trouble when I was dungeon mastering as well. What's it, Aaron? Working and slicing models for my brother-in-law to print out and give him. Oh, okay, that's right. You've got your 3D printer working overtime right now. You're going to be out of space very shortly, the way things are going. You've been hard at it. I've seen you posting on the HowtoDandD Facebook group. Lots and lots of miniatures getting pumped out. A lot of terrain too, I noticed. What's that, Walrus? Looking good, Fred. Keep it up. I'm going to go start painting a green dragon. Thanks for the inspiration. You're welcome, Walrus. Get that dragon sorted. And he turned it, and he put the paint on. Those eyes are so hard to get a sort of... Anyway. Stop worrying so much, Fred. Okay, so next, there's another green eyes, because I'm going with 4 green eyes rather than 4 blue eyes or brown eyes, because there's enough brown eyes as it is. The big eye's big brown thing, and he's mostly purple and blue anyway, so the green seemed like a sensible thing. I suppose I could go with yellow, but who has yellow eyes, or even a red eye? I suppose I could do a red eye. Red. No, it's not going to happen. Not doing it. I just realised what red's like. Oh dear. I think that I might have just stuffed. Keep going, Fred. No surrender. No surrender. Let's attack the other side. Just. Got it. It was hard, but got it. Okay, mostly sorted. Mostly sorted. Okay, alright. So, I can't do anything with the eyes right now. What I can do is I can deal with the teeth. So while the eyes are drying, I'll deal with the teeth. So where is that? No, that's zombie. I want the skeleton bone. I'm going to use the skeleton bone. Dungeons and Dragons skeleton bone is the job. A beholder with a red eye sounds good. It does, but that also sort of gives it. That's kind of the eye that disintegrates you, right? But at this present time, I don't think I'm going to do a red eye on one of them. That'll just be too hard. Red doesn't cover very well usually, so. Okay, so this I'm going to ditch this brush and see if I can't use a slightly larger brush to get the paint in place. What's it, Aaron? Yeah, I think I'm good on terrain now, and for a bit gonna print some minis and dice boxes. Oh, okay. And Magic the Gathering life counters for a guy at work. Ah. Alright, so let's just turn that around. And this is this needing watered down? Yeah, it's just slightly. Okay, let's try that. It's very close to the same color as the gum. It's the only hassle. And if I just go like that, kind of cheat a little bit. Ooh. Well, they certainly don't look quite as white and pearly white as they were before, but then I guess wash is going to help with that as well. Is it thin enough? Okay, so that's mostly covered the areas that I needed to with the larger brush. We'll go to the smaller brush and see how it goes. What's that, Joe? I brought some 3D printed spell trackers from a guy on eBay. Big kit. Oh, okay. I don't really worry too much about tracking spells, but then there's not usually that many spells getting cast in the group that need tracking. Concentration is a good rule, so it means you don't have too many things going on at the same time. What's that, big kid? Do you put eyes on your minis, humanoids, or leave them without? Yeah, I usually put eyes on them. I'm not very good at doing it. Yes, I do, Aaron. Yes, I do have some patrons, and yes, they've been very good about the whole thing. It's been awesome. And yeah, I was quite surprised. A lot of them were, I mean, almost everybody's given me $5 a month, which, you know, I would have been fine just to be $1 a month, but no, they seem to be happy to do that. It is not the complicated scheme that has different tiers. I'm using the light system. And I think the very, no, well, it's not the very first content to go up there, but the very first patron only content should be going up tonight, actually, if I remember right. Pretty sure that is. Although most of that content will eventually get released here, it might take a very long time. Ah, there we go. Getting it in. The teeth are oh, well, am I happy with that? Okay, we'll get that clean out, and we'll hit that up with most of the patron content is the edited live streams, well and truly in advance of everybody else, and there'll be a few blooper videos eventually that are sitting around that I need to sort through, and it'll be probably a look at my life, what I do in my personal time. I'm probably not going to make that a feature of the channel. And then things like behind the scenes, you'll probably get a lot more behind the scenes stuff. Those things might get released here, but probably not very much of it. And let's see. Okay. Where was I? I was just working on. Where's it gone? That's the. There it is. I think that's it there. Is that the one? Skeleton, skeleton, skeleton. I've lost it. I know I had it. No, that can't be it. Where's it gone? There it is. Aha. Bingo. And there. That is nice. Right. Fred is going to sing "Staying Alive, Staying Alive." I can't. I don't have the rights to sing that song. It'll just get me into trouble. As for planning content for Patreon, it isn't really planned. It's there. It just needs to be processed. That's really the biggest issue. Okay, so brown. I was happy with that. I'm going to go with using that darker brown that I started with. So I'm going to go back to there with a smaller brush. And I'm going to hit the other eyes with a little bit of the darker brown. And not just the lighter brown. And we'll do that again. That's that one. Good, and we'll do that again. gosh, that eyeball. Come here, you little sucker. Stop making it difficult. Oh yeah, yep, that got it. Ah dear. All right, so that's the brown. I've done the central eye with the brown. We want to do the blue. So where's the blue? Flick the blue round. That's just about dried out. So we're going to just bring it back to life a little bit. I don't actually need very much of the light blue, so all right, let's see how that works. Where's the first blue eye? First blue eye. And on the outside, I think, is where I want to put the colour. Okay, and then flip that around again and grab some more. Where's the blue eye? Blue eye, blue eye. There's blue eye there. There's blue. Ah, there. Which side is going to likely have it? Go with the outside again. Come on, you. You know you want to do it. You do. No, it's too thin. Okay, and the next eye, let's see if I can just... Come on, you. Thicken up a little bit. Good, that'll do. What's that? F Hubba, what do you got there? I see eyes are nearly done. Nearly done. Get in there. Green. Now, where's the green? I've got the emerald green, which is light, nasty stuff that didn't really work before. I wonder if I can just use it as a... oh. It didn't really coat very well, did it? It's just... Come on, you. That's better. Alright, so... Back to the other green. And... no, I'm wasting my time with that stuff, so we'll forget about that. And we'll go to... We'll use this... What is it about this grung green? Use the grug green. Gruggity green, gruggity green. Not too much. I'm only using a fraction of the paint that I really need. And it's very hard to actually put out just a tiny amount, isn't it? Okay, so that eye is currently drying. So we'll try this eye here. And flip that around a little bit, and then we'll do that again on another eye. Where is it? Green, 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 there. Okay, and then do it one more time. Is it one more time, or actually I've got two? There's 4 green eyes, right? So it's actually going to be a bit more than that. There we go. Maybe just a little bit thick. Yeah, I just feel a little bit thick, but never mind, it's too late now. Let's get that one, I'll come back to it later if I need to. See how it dries anyway. And okay, so that's that, that's that, that's that. I've done the blue, did I do the brown? I can't remember if I did the brown. I haven't done the brown. Why have I not done the brown? I've not done the brown because, oh, that's it. That's right. I do need to do the brown. Oh, no, I don't. I've done the brown. I have done the brown. I can see the differences. Okay. Oh, almost lost it. Okay, that's good news, though. I'm still with you. Right, so next. Done that. I guess it's tempting to try to get fancy with this, but I'm a little bit worried that if I try to get too fancy, because I really need to let the wash do the work near the end rather than try to get it all done here. So black. Let's get the black. Let's try and do some irises. Good heart. Now I'm using Vallejo black, for those of you who are wondering what I'm using. And my little ball bearings shaking up good, shaking up good. All right, so is that black there? It is. Come on. Oh. Oh, you think nothing's coming out and then suddenly, whoosh, big huge glob. That's not quite what I was hoping for, but never mind. Beltan7272, how's it going? Lovely mini Fred, thank you. Do you let your NPC villains use power word kill? I haven't ever actually done that, but I would consider doing it. There's really not anything that I wouldn't try doing, to be fair, at least once or twice. I've said this before. I usually try everything, you know. It might sound terrible, but I usually do everything at least twice before I decide I don't do it again. And that might mean I break a few eggs along the way or I make a few mistakes, but I'm well and truly over people telling me that there's only one way to do it, and it's the way that they think it should be done. So I'm very much about learn as you go. Figure it out yourself. Because the thing is that just because one way of doing something didn't work for somebody else doesn't mean it won't work for you. And that's the thing to remember. I certainly think I've found that to be the case almost exclusively with all of the people that I know who Dungeon Master. And that just because something I did didn't work for them doesn't mean it didn't work for me. And just because they did something that worked doesn't mean it will work for me. So. Okay, so that it's pretty tricky. Doesn't feel like it's quite right. I feel like I might have just gone off to the side just a fraction. I might have to widen it up a bit. So hang on. Yeah, it's good enough. It's all right. It'll be fine. It'll be all right. Chris, how's it going, Chris? My mind has gone crazy trying to figure out how to make these guys float instead of using stick base. Any ideas? Nope. Stick base is the only thing I can think of. No problem, no problem whatsoever. You're welcome. I don't know that it's necessarily super fantastic advice, but, you know. bearing in mind that when the characters die, I don't really bother me too much, and I'm quite happy for the players to keep playing the same character, whereas I know some other dungeon masters are a lot less sort of willing for that to be the case. Okay, so I'm going to put, I know it's probably asking for trouble, but I'm going to try and put, yeah, I am going to try to put like a stroke through those. And do another one on the other side. Oh yeah. All right. Lost my brush. Almost threw it off the table. Floating, no visible support. Require you to put them in a simulated force cage or a globe of invulnerability. Anton, what's that? Hey, Fred mate, is your super chat okay? I tried a few times. I don't know if the super chat's not working. I don't know why it wouldn't be. It should be. I've usually got it engaged. So if it's not working, I'm not too sure what's going on. Okay. Okay, so let's do the green eye here. And flick it around the other way and try and get it from the other angle. Alright, I don't know if I necessarily got it right, but I'm doing my best. What's that, Chris? I like a magnet or something using negative force. I know it's weird, but so is my brain. Ha ha ha. I don't know. Magnets have always been a very popular tool for miniatures, so it's not strange or weird at all. I know when I was involved in wargaming, they used to use magnets for cycling out weapons. They could change things. It makes a lot of sense considering, you know, Warhammer, that sort of game is one where you have to have the miniature on there, otherwise you can't play with it, which used to drive us nuts. It's absolutely the most annoying thing. Okay, and it's probably just an excuse to try and sell more products. Little blue eye, little blue eye. Got him. Not doing too badly, I think. I think I'm all right. Boltan, what do you got here? I'll take it. I just happened to notice it on a spell list in a printed adventure and thought, how would I play that one out? And I considered dropping the spell altogether for something else. No, go for it. Look, you know, here's the thing. You know, throwing really powerful monsters and spells and other abilities and other things that the characters that the players are running, it only becomes a problem when the player gets upset. It's the only time it's really an issue. And the only time it becomes an issue is when they want to keep playing the character and you say, no, you can't. You eliminate that, you eliminate half your problems. You can get precious about Dungeons and Dragons, but I just don't care anymore. There is only one way, the right way, and that is it, nothing else, blah, blah, blah. Well, you know it's getting quiet in the room now when I'm starting to do these eyes. Ooh. Here we go. Let's get in there. I can't get the angle. Can't get the angle coming in from above. And yeah. That's all I can manage with that side. Anything else is going to make it too hard. What's that, Joe? Make a metal backed board, cover the table, and you'll need a LED light installed so it doesn't block your lighting on the table. Then glue a washer to fishing line, and then that you can drop onto the bottom. Man, Joe, you've done this before, haven't you? Okay, so another eye. And I might have made a mess of this one. I'm partially blind anyway, and I'm not going to be able to see it. Just keep putting the paint on. Next one. Okay, that's the brown one. No, little hairs. Go away, little hair. What's this? This looks fine. That'll do. It's fine. It'll do. What's that, Matt? Chris uses using fishing line to hang it from. Model planes. Yes, that's right. That's exactly how I used to have my model planes hung. Only problem is, I remember my model planes, I'd make them up, and then my mum would insist that because my younger brother loved them so much that he could sleep with them, and he would put them under his pillow, and they would get squashed, and trust me, it used to annoy me a lot. I don't think I had any of my model aeroplanes ever survive that whole process. If ever, looks like Meg's supports on 3 eye stalks. Meg's supports? I'm not quite sure what that's supposed to mean. What's that, Aaron? Yeah, at least you don't have a stick up the backside of the beholder. Although their personality usually make it seem like that really... Yeah, that's right. They don't really... Do they have a personality that can be considered a personality that can interact with another personality? I don't know that they can. All right, so we're doing all right. I feel like the eyes are coming together. Some of them have turned out better than others, and some are less impressive. But at this point, I'm dealing with such fine movement, so I'm not ever going to be able to make it happen, so I'm not going to worry so much. Okay, so this need to... What was I going to do? There was something I was going to do. That's right, it involved white. What was I going to do with the white? I wanted to do something that would make it look like... That's right, where is it? White. I don't know if I'm just going to get the brush to do what I want it to do now. Okay, so is this going to work? And yeah, I'm not sure about that. I might repaint that at some point if I'm not happy with it, which I feel like I probably aren't. Okay, so that is that part of it done. Is there anything else I want to do? I think the wash is going to do most of the work after that. And the eyelids. That's right. I need to do something with the eyelids. I almost forgot about them because they don't really sort of stick stick out, do they? I need a light colour, but it isn't too light because white's too aggressive. And I was working with the goblin skin. So if I take goblin skin, oh, hang on, what is this stuff? That's a lighter colour, that flat. Yep, so we'll use that one there. Give it a good hard shake. This one's not necessarily that good at covering, so thankfully it doesn't have to. Come on, that'll do. See how we go. And smaller brush, that's the one. No problems, Anton, if you're on call. Oh, good night. Whiskey Sire, how's it going? Yay, live D&D painting. Yes, imagine that happening. It does actually happen from time to time. People do actually do it. Well, it happens here anyway. Okay, so that is going to be problematic. And I just need to make sure I get, it's very, very, very watery. Is it doing what I want it to do? I don't know that it is, actually. So where is the goblin skin? Goblin skin, and then a bit of white. I don't know how this is going to work out. We'll see. Megs is the other beholder model someone referred to. Oh, okay, Megs. I didn't know about that. I do have a Nolzur's Marvelous Miniatures beholder, but I don't think I'll be painting that anytime soon. Okay, so that is sort of off-white and okay, so that is still pretty white though. Alright, let's see if this will work. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see how we go. Oh, nice. Yeah, it works out pretty well, actually. It worked out much better than I thought it would. Amazed. And cool. Very nice. It's working out fine. Good. It's working. It's working. It's working. So I should be able to do each of those eyelids. It's a lot of work, I know, but while I'm here, I might as well, right? And flick that round. Oh, come on, paint. Let's rub it off again and try again. I'm out, peeps. Have a good night. See you later, Aaron. I've read that that this model is a nightmare to assemble. Is that true? Well, I did a video on assembling it, so you can actually see it happen. It is actually quite difficult to assemble. Yes, it is. It is not an easy process. It took me a good long period of time. There's so many pieces involved, and I think, what did it take me? I think it was at least like three live streams, so maybe about 3 hours to actually make it all come together. It might have been actually longer than that because I still had to fill gaps. So it is not an easy miniature to deal with, not compared to something that's already pre-assembled. The cool thing is you can actually, if you're onto it, you can adjust the position of eye stalks, which is quite nice. Okay, so that is there. That's that one. No, I think I did that one. Did I do that one? Maybe not. So yeah, if you're trying to do it yourself, you'll probably find it's a bit tricky. Fred, I'm on call now. Good night. I'll see you later. Back into A&D days, have to be alone because of the sight of another creature would freak them out. They consider everyone else inferior. Yes, that's right. That's right. Exactly. Beholders are a bit nutty. Okay, so that is problem right there. Let's just take this. I didn't realise this eye lid was so thin. And we'll get the paint. Oh, come on, you. And make sure I select right. There's so many little bits of blobs of paint everywhere. I'll be careful not to grab the wrong one. Okay. Is that right? It looks right. Okay, cool. So we'll grab the other paint, a little lighter colour. And just go around the eyelid. A little bit more. Which other eyes? Oh, there's a few more to go. 1, 2, 3, 5 of them. And oh, come on. Come on, you. Yeah. Alright, so that didn't work out quite the way I'd hoped. Other ones did. And gonna have to work here quickly, aren't I? What's happening is the paint is drying up, and because I didn't mix it into a wet palette, and it's also drying on the brush, which is weird because I wouldn't have thought it was that warm that it would happen, but maybe the temperature's gone up a little bit and that's changed things. top lid. Okay, and last of these little suckers. Let's see if I can get it in there. And that one along there. Okay, so that's, I think that's all of them. Okay, so that's, so what else do I need to do? I've done them, done that, done this. It's got to be washed at some point. I suppose I should at least just tidy up the base, because the base has been getting a bit of a workout, so we'll do that. And we might have actually be done. I might actually have it pretty much done. Beholders still consider everything else inferior, and they will tolerate underlings who worship them and serve them. Yes, I believe you. You like the 5e version better. Special needs. Special needs. Alright, okay, so let's grab the grey. And where is the... That's the one I wanted. So we'll get some grey on there. We'll do the stalk. Now, bigger brush, because I don't want to spend forever doing this. And that can go along here. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. This is more like a spot tidy up rather than a coat the whole thing. He says as he coats the entire thing. I just realised it's actually the primer. It's not actually paint. Well, it's paint, but it's just primer. It just happens to be grey. I had already glued it on, so when I was spraying the primer on, I didn't actually tape it so it looked like an invisible stalk, but I don't think I really care. If anything, the invisible stalks just annoy me. Not as much as the invisible characters, I have to say. Those are far more annoying. Miniatures that are invisible. Yep, that's exactly what we wanted. Must be cheap as to make too. Okay, that looks alright. Put that down. And next colour. Dungeon. So I was using, what was I using? That's right, I was using this medium sea grey, which is the Vallejo paint. Now I'm onto the D&D Dungeon Stone, which is the Nolzur's Marvellous Pigments one. And that brush is going to be big enough, I would imagine. And I just need to touch up some of the areas that I didn't get before. Be pretty aggressive with this, I think, and let the washing take the rest of the job. Thank you, Matt. Bravo, bravo. Absolutely. It has taken me a long time. I bet you there's been a few people who have been like, I signed up for a YouTube channel that's supposed to teach you how to play Dungeons and Dragons and do all these other things, and all he's been doing has been painting a Beholder miniature for the last 4 days. 4 days, that's all there's been. I can just imagine it. well, the good news is today is going to be the last day of Mr. Beholder Xanathar's dress up. Here we go. Get that corner there. And I mean, it is just stonework, so I don't suppose I need to be too fancy with it, right? Flick that little sucker around so I can get at things. Ha ha. Very fine fine lines make the big eye bloodshot. I don't know that my brush and my hand is good enough to do that. If ever, I think I would be just pushing my luck. If anything, I know I'll be pushing my luck. It does look, and what I'll do is when I wash it, I'll use a wash that'll allow it to sort of look a bit ready. So I'm pretty sure I've got a wash that's sort of for various other colours. I've got 3, I believe. Well, I suppose I could make one, but I'm not really that clever. Water and paint, I realise, but there are other ingredients apparently to make sure it comes out right. Okay. This is working out fine. Just keep turning. I'm painting the back edge, which you can't see, but I can get at it a lot faster that way. All right. A little bit more paint. Come on, you. Squeeze it out. Okay. That's it. And that surface is mostly done, which is good. And I think that just needs the edge done now. Come on, edge. Just work it round. So I am probably going to put this, I'll take a picture of this, put that up as the thumbnail, and that will be that. I do believe that part of the deal with Gale Force 9 is I needed to do like a video showing the miniature off, so I'll probably have to shoot that with a camera rather than try and do a live stream, because you won't get a very good sort of look at what's going on, and that's probably going to happen once it's been washed. Okay, I think I've got it all. Okay, all right, that is good enough. Encore. No, I can't do any more. It is time to put it to bed. So let's get that out of the way. I do apologize if I missed any of your comments in the chat and you were trying to ask me a question. So yeah, I do apologize if that did actually happen, which it probably did. I'm sorry. Okay, so now I just got to hold it in such a way that I don't mess up the paint that I've already put on. Not so easy, trust me, it's pretty tricky actually. So this is without washing. This is my Xanathar Beholder miniature that Gale Force 9 sent me, and I actually, considering it's actually quite a complicated piece to paint. It certainly was very, very difficult to assemble, but I feel like once it's been washed, and I might do a few highlights after, but I'm probably going to be very, very sort of specific about where I put a wash. It's actually turned out pretty good, and I'm happy about that. That's good news. Very fine lines here. Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. The bloodshot is just not going to happen. Any clear figures I can coat with paint from a sun catcher to add just enough colour so they're easy to see. Dear. Right. Scratch the lines in with a razor knife, and then red wash the eyes. Easy eye fine lines. Well, we'll see. I'll figure it out. I'm sure I will. Anyway. If you enjoyed this, that's awesome. I'm glad you have stuck through for a very long time. This is a long video. It's like an hour and a half to get this little sucker finally finished. This is like the 4th video that I have shot. And it has turned out great as far as I'm concerned. I'm really, really happy with the result. And I'm sure it will look even better once it's been washed. So I have a whole bunch of other videos. If you're interested, go and check them out. If you want to leave a comment, you can, by all means. Thank you, Matt. I do appreciate it, and everybody else who hung around for so long. Now, I don't just have videos on painting. I have videos on pretty much everything. So that's Players Dungeon Masters for Dungeons & Dragons. You're welcome to go and check those out if you want to. I do have a Patreon page, so you can sign up to Patreon, and I pretty much release a lot of early content there and a few things around behind the scenes and sort of what's going on in my life are there, and you get priority on stuff that I make. That's essentially all I'm doing. I am not really doing anything more. It's not an awful lot of extra stuff. It's just mostly early content and just priority in terms of what I make, and I make a lot of videos. I have affiliate links down in the description where you can go and buy stuff from Amazon and the book depository, and I get a small commission from that, which is always helpful for keeping the channel going. All of the materials and paints that I used for today, I will make sure are down in the description. They should be mostly there already, but if there's anything I need to update, I will. I think that covers most of that. Share, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell button to be notified if you're really lucky by YouTube. They don't always notify you, but you can hit the bell button. It makes you feel a little better that you might actually be informed that I am live or I have published a new video. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s. Oh, and I have to say thank you to my patrons. You guys are great.